you, everybody. Thank you, Diane and John. John, look at you. A week from now, I'm dressed like that. I promise.
I shaved this week.
We're making progress, moving forward. Thank you so much for once again opening your house. Amanda, thank you for those good words, and thank you all for being here. I hope you feel the excitement that we are starting to feel now about the choice that we will make. What is it, 9 days from today? You know, you've heard it alluded to. None of us are happy. None of us are overjoyed with where we are right now, and we shouldn't be. Because we still got 15 million people in this country who aren't working. We still have unfinished work to do on energy and the environment. We have unfinished work to do on bringing jobs back to this country. We have unfinished work to do to fix our schools so that every kid, whether that kid is in Bridgeport or Greenwich, gets a great education. So we got a lot to do. Like all of you, you name it. You know, don't ask, don't tell. The little ping pong game we've watched in the last week or so doesn't make us feel good. Afghanistan, Guantanamo, doesn't make us feel good. But here's the thing. Think about what we have done, and think about how much at risk that is. When I got down to Washington, new to the scene, this country was losing 750,000 jobs every single month. The economy had just contracted by 8%. Americans were getting thrown out of their jobs, out of their houses. Kids weren't going to college because college accounts had been devastated. Seniors had watched their 401ks, their IRAs get devastated. And we went to work. We went to work, and now, while we don't celebrate where we are, we have just posted 9 months straight of private sector job growth. 9 months straight of private sector job growth. 900,000 jobs. That's more jobs that were created in the entire 8 years of the Bush administration. That should be the last time we get a big applause for the words Bush administration. Our economy is growing. Stock market, if you follow that up, is up 30% since the day we all took office. But again, we got a lot more to do. We got a lot more to do to invest in our schools, to invest in clean energy. Opal Solar up here in Shelton, Connecticut is employing 30 people to make tomorrow's electricity generation sources. They should be employing 3,000 people if we get serious about energy reform. We have a lot yet to do. Jobs, energy, education, and this is what is at stake in November. We have a vision on the other side that is about taking us back to where we were. Now my guy, Dan DiBasella, is saying the answer is tax cuts across the board. Now look, we all like tax cuts, fine, let's talk about that. And deregulation. Deregulation of oil companies, deregulation of Wall Street. He's in a big fight with me over the reform we did, which I count as one of the signal achievements of the last 2 years. The most important reform of our financial services sector since the 1930s. This is where he's coming from. He's desperately trying to paint himself as Chris Shays. He does it time and time again. Here's a couple of facts. And I get in trouble with my staff because I use too many facts, but when you're talking to people, you got to have some facts. And by the way, facts are tough things. Chris Shays, lifetime hero of the League of Conservation Voters. Dan DiBasella, the worst environmental record in the Connecticut State Senate in 10 years. Chris Shays got the endorsement of Planned Parenthood, of NARAL, of our organizations that look after women's right to choose. Dan DiBasella, as many of you know, was one of 3 votes against requiring hospitals to carry emergency contraception and rape kits so that when women come in, they've actually got care to deal with. Now he says it was because of the Catholic Church. Baloney. The Catholic Church has never said that a woman has to carry the child of a rapist. And there's always been deals made that were made here in Connecticut. One of 3 votes to stand against women. Endorsed by the Family Institute of Connecticut, which led the charge against marriage equality and is deeply, deeply anti-woman. And most importantly, look, these policy issues are tough. Let me tell you what he said when he was challenged on that rape vote. He said, all I did was vote against emergency contraception for rape victims in hospitals. All I did. This is where this guy comes from. I've been saying to people, and look, let's face it, we got some tough stuff to do fiscally. We got deficits that need to be brought under control. We've got some really challenging things to do, and it's going to be a discussion that makes nobody happy. But we're going to have that in a responsible way. And I've been saying for a couple of months now that his proposals on the budget would devastate things like energy, devastate education, and would probably gut Social Security and Medicare. And he's been saying, oh, scare tactics, talk to seniors. The Hartford Current in their endorsement of me, said Dan DiBasella's plans would probably, their word, decimate Medicare and Social Security. So this is the choice that we've got in November, in 9 days. And it really is between continuing to move forward honestly, thoughtfully, responsibly, aware of the challenges and the complexity, or going back to something very, very ominous. And so I'm going to ask you this. 9 days is not a long time. And we got a big group of people here. Thank you, John and Diane. You guys reach out to 10 people each who otherwise would have stayed home on election day. Somebody who's a little bit turned off, didn't get what they wanted out of this or that or whatever, or the economy's rough and my wife hasn't worked, whatever. Reach out to 10 of those people. If everybody here does that, I win. What do we got here? I think we've got 75 people here, right? 75, 80 people. I'm going to win by 1,000, 2,000 votes. So you can do it in the next 9 days. So for that, but most importantly for continuing to stand with the progress we're trying to make, to continue to stand with our senior citizens, to continue to stand for education and our kids. I've got mine running around here somewhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go win it.
Let Jim have some minutes to talk with everybody. One thing, 25 Van Sant Street is where the Norwalk committee headquarters is. It's on the 4th floor, and they have canvassing for everybody. If you go out next weekend, literally, I went out in this neighborhood. It's wonderful to meet your Democratic and independent friends. And they are very positive if you just get out there, but you got to remind them that they have to go out and talk to 10 people too. You know, there are people, you have to ask them to write a letter to the editors, some of our crazier local newspapers, but you got to get them out there. This is the last few days, and Mary made a wonderful analogy the other days because they're both oarsmen, they're both athletes, and they said when you feel so exhausted you're in that last lap and you don't think you have anything left, that's when you give it all. You give everything plus. This is it. Right. Okay.